Hello, geometry students. For Mr. Fry, this is February 11th. We're looking at properties of parallelograms. You took notes in class. If you missed this, this is for you, or if you're reviewing, this is for you, or if you want, help with some of the problems that you guys are doing, this is for you. Here we go. Definition of parallelograms: both pairs of opposite sides are parallel, they're parallel, and they're also congruent. Opposite sides are parallel, opposite angles are congruent, consecutive angles are supplementary, meaning they add up to 180, and diagonals bisect each other. That means diagonals are going to bisect, they're going to cut each other in half. So we could just, divide by 2 if we're given a whole diagonal, or given part of a diagonal, we could multiply by 2 to get the whole diagonal. So with that in mind, let's take a look at these that you guys did in class. If this is 15, this side's going to be 15. If this side's 8, that means this side's going to be 8. Opposite angles, up here we said opposite angles are congruent. So if this angle is 68, this angle is 68. If this one, so that makes, and supplementary, consecutive angles are supplementary. So this one and this one, I did 180 minus 68 to get 112. And so that makes that 112, and so that's 112. Okay? And so that's where I get all those answers. I'm going to do the same thing for number 2. This would be 29. This would be 21. This is 127, and these two angles are going to be whatever 180 minus 127 is. This one, you can see I marked everything that was given. This is supposed to be a 27 here on this side. I don't want to ruin that 30. How I got 15 and 15, RT is said to be 30, so I just split it in half because remember, diagonals bisect each other. So you just divide that by 2, and so you have 15 and 15. And so that's how I get all these measurements, just like I did in number 1. Number 4 is going to be the same thing. We're bisecting. We have, so FED is 134. So you could get this other side, 134 minus 71 would give you this other side of this angle. Okay, so that might help you out. And so you're just doing all angles here. So 71 and whatever 134 minus 71 is, this is going to be 71 also over here. This is going to be 21 over here, just to help you out. So that's going to be very helpful. Okay. And then, this whole thing, 134, the whole thing is 134. So 180 minus 134 would give you this whole thing, whatever 180 minus 134 is, right? And so that'll give you the whole thing. So whatever this whole thing is, subtract 21 from it, and you'll get this right here, this angle. Okay, you may want to rewind that and listen to that again. Number 5, there's a lot to this one. So XY is 15. XY, I have 15. WX, I have 22. WX is 22. ZX is 32. ZX, the whole thing is 32, so I just divided by 2 to get 16 and 16, and I marked it there. WT is 10. WT is 10, so that means TY is 10. WZY is 62. WZY, the whole thing is 62. WXT is 27. WXT, this little one is 27, so that means this is 27 because we have alternate interior angles. So this one would be 35 because 62 minus 27 is 35, and so we have alternate interior angles here. Okay, and then what else? Oh, this one. Can't forget about this one. This is important for these last two that I didn't do yet. ZWT is 77. So ZWT, this is 77. This is degrees. This is the angle here. Okay. Remember the 10 was the length of WT. So 77. All right. So with that in mind, your ZW is going to be 15. ZW, this is going to be 15. ZY is 22. TX is 16, and so on. Okay. Now to get XWT. XWT. In order to get that XWT, we knew that the whole thing equaled 118, because remember this angle is going to be the same as this angle. Remember the opposite angles are congruent, okay? So I'm just going to take 118 minus 77. 118 minus 77, and I get 41. So XWT, that's going to be 41. That's what's left. XYT, that's going to be an alternate interior angle. So this is going to be 77. So that's going to be 77 also. Okay. All right. I'm working on number 6. GHF is 34. GHF, and I marked that 34 with an ugly pencil. You can barely see it. Did that in class. HJF is 124. HJF, the whole thing is 124. And FKJ is 79. FKJ is 79. So we have vertical angles here, 79. So with that in mind, you know, you're going to get all of these measurements when you're taking into consideration supplementary. You're working with, you know, 180, and so let's talk about it. GFJ, that whole thing is going to be 56, because we took 180 minus the 124. 180 minus the 124 gave us the 56. FGH, that's going to be the same as angle J down here, so 124. HFJ, this little one, that's going to be the 56 minus the 22, and that's 34. HKJ is 101. HKJ, that's going to be your 180 minus 79. That's 101. And then you could see the corresponding angles and all that over here, how we get those measures. Okay, moving on. For number 7, we're going to solve. This side is going to equal this side, so we're throwing a little algebra in here. So we just set them equal to each other. We combine like terms, and we get the x on one side and solve for the variable. Same thing for, well, you're going to do the same thing over here. You're just going to set that equal to that and solve for x. But then you're going to take that x and put it into yz, put it into this x, substitute it in there and work it out. So solve for x, and then take that answer. Like if the answer was 8, you would plug it in, you know. Plug whatever this answer is here, and then solve 19 times that x value minus 31. Okay, this one, we find out that this is 37 because the whole thing is 74, so half of it has to be 37. So WZ, the small part, is 4x plus 1, right? So 4x plus 1 is going to equal 37. Just solve for x, and you get x equals 9. You're going to do the same thing here, but you're going to substitute that in for NQ. Well, NQ, you're just going to add these two together. So once you figure out what these are, you're just going to double it, because NS is half and SQ is half. So they equal each other. Solve for x, plug it into either one of these, and just double that answer, because that's going to be NQ. Number 11, we're going to set these equal to each other. We solve and get 63 for x. Then you're going to plug 63 in for angle B, which is going to be 180 minus the 63, and that equals 117. So actually, you're not plugging it. I plugged it in here. You could have used either one because they equal each other. And so I got 63 when I plugged it in this one. You'll get 63 if you plug it in this one because they're equal, right? And then 180 minus that will give you the B, because remember they're supplementary corresponding angles. You do the same thing for this one, because you're going to find the measure of R. So you're going to figure out, you know, these two actually are going to be supplementary. So you're going to add these two together, a little bit different, to equal 180. Okay, so you're going to take 3x plus 5 plus 8x minus 12 equals 180 to get that one started. Okay, and just combine like terms, solve for x. And then when you figure that out, to find out what measure r is, just plug that x value into p, because p is going to equal r. So whatever you get for p, it's going to be the same as r. And then 413, in order for me to find out, KLH was 134, KLH, the whole thing is 144, and 134. And we're looking for, to solve for x here, this one right here. So I figured out that 180 minus 134 is 46. So this whole thing over here, remember these are supplementary angles. So the whole thing is 46. So 46 minus 25 gives me 21. So this 21 is going to be the same over here, alternate interior angles for these parallel lines, right, with a transversal. So 21, 21, right? So 4x plus 9 equals 21. I just solved for x and I got x equals 3. And then this one, when you're working on this one, you're going to use this 115 ABC. The whole thing is 115. You're going to find ADB. So both this one and that one are going to equal the 115. So you're going to take this plus this equals 115. Solve for x, plug x back into ADB, this one right here. Plug it back into this one, and you'll get what angle ADB is. All right, good luck with these. If you need more help, please let me know.